So the GoPro Hero 13 is finally here, and I've been waiting for this camera for a while. I'm sure you guys have been really excited about it. I have been super excited. I think there's a lot to talk about. I want to, in this video, share my honest thoughts and opinions of the GoPro Hero 13, and I also want to sort of show you guys a discussion that I had with a work colleague of mine, Radar. He works in the film industry doing TV commercials in Australia. He does Netflix documentaries and he does Hollywood feature films. So I think it's just going to be really cool to sort of hear his take on the GoPro Hero 13, because I know they make cameras primarily for content creators and regular consumers like myself, but they also are used by the professional film industry. So I think it'll be really interesting to sort of hear both of our, I guess, thoughts on the GoPro Hero 13. And I hope you guys can sort of take away a few things from it, and maybe it answers a few questions you have about it as well. So yeah, it's a really candid, raw video, and we're discussing all of this for the first time. And at the very end, I think I'll give you guys my opinion on whether or not the GoPro Hero 13 is worth the money. Should you buy the GoPro Hero 13? Anyway, here's that video. Let's get into it.
Have you looked into it yet?
Oh, look, last night.
So I stayed up.
Yeah, I knew that. Like, I did the little notification thing. I don't feel like it's huge, but I do like the heat sink
Yeah.
idea. The one thing I did really like was the whole magnetic power situation.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Because now you can keep the door on.
Yeah.
And it remains waterproof, I guess. Not that I would be in a situation where you need to power it externally with water.
The two coolest things I thought were that, and then finally adding that magnetic attachment point as well.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, I was actually so disappointed. I think they've taken a huge step backwards. It's like they've taken the GoPro 12, and then and they changed the battery,
which is going to mess everyone up.
Yeah.
Especially people like me when I have got 5 little suckers.
And then they advertise the 400 FPS slow-mo. It does it for up to 15 seconds. And if you want to...
It's like a first.
And if you want it 400 FPS, it only does it in 720p.
And I would have thought it would have at least been at 1080.
Yeah.
Can you choose a section of the video and it does it? Or do you only get that 15-second burst?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Is it a fancy?
Yeah, because so the minute you record, then you only have
15 seconds?
Yeah, you have to quickly get a shot.
Yeah, or can you roll up and choose a section and then it doesn't do it
That's weird.
Camera, maybe. I don't know. Interesting. So I was interested in so they're calling it the GoPro Hero, which is the smaller version. And I don't know if it I know it's got heat sinks and stuff on that smaller camera. And if you looked at the previous model of that version, what they're trying to do, maybe it will stop overheating, because that camera did actually have a lot of overheating issues.
Yeah.
The previous one.
Yeah.
That Hero.
The Hero 11 Mini.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll go into the cafe.
Let's go eat.
Yeah.
I don't know what the idea behind this little one is.
It's like they're trying to create the new baseline budget model for the people who don't want to spend whatever it is on the actual full-size GoPro or whatever. But
so you think it's like an entry-level camera where people are I don't have a GoPro, I don't want to spend the money, so I'm going to just get this Hero.
Yeah, but what's really stupid is they've gone so far. They've taken so many features away that it's still not worth it at that price compared to the old cameras. Yeah, which I think is why they've removed the old cameras. You can't buy them in their website anymore. Yeah, so that people can't make that comparison, and I find that really bad.
Where do they go from here?
Yeah,
is it so they can take a step back, so when they release the 14,
then
it seems way bigger than what this one is? There's some cool features, but at the same time, is it worth the upgrade? I don't know. Awesome. Cheers.
Thanks. Thank you.
Damn, that looks good. Yeah, it's really interesting, like where it's headed, and
There's
And the whole-
$70 between the Hero 12 and the 13, right?
yeah,
But like, I would rather spend that $70 on like an extra battery or something.
yeah. And the whole lens situation. I saw a few videos on YouTube pre the release, and the guys were going, "Oh, you know, how cool is it having the anamorphic lens?" And I'm like, "Is it?
No, it's not.
Like,
and you can already get
where are you
that
going to use that?" Like, and I mean, with the anamorphic, unless you're entirely shooting your content on a GoPro, if you're trying to mix that in the professional market, like with anamorphic lenses, maybe that's a cool thing. But there's not. I don't shoot many TVCs that are on anamorphic. Like, there's the odd one that we do on a drone, and usually we just use, you know, a super 35mm lens, and they're just cropping for 240 or 239 or whatever. But I don't know if it like. Yeah, I mean, maybe it gives the cool lens flare or something, but maybe not because the sensor's so small. I'd have to actually play with it to see what the anamorphic lens is like. And the macro one for me is just like, it's kind of a joke because like you can get so close with the GoPro anyway.
Yeah.
And when you do, everything's so distorted because the subject is so close to it. So they're marketing it in this thing of like, I can get 4 times closer. Cheers. Look.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I love your jumper.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can get 4 times closer.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, what are you going to do? Film some ants? Like
yeah, I
GoPro
know,
footage of some ants?
that's it. I don't
It's
know.
just like action camera
And then there's
footage
this
of
whole
the
thing of
bugs.
like, some of the vloggers on YouTube were talking about there's a ring around the side. So like, is that like for focus, like to set it, or is it just an aesthetic as part of the lens? So some people were like, oh, that's our focus ring, but we don't actually know. No one's actually got their hands on one, and I'm sure by the time this video comes out, there'll already be someone with it somewhere telling you how it works and so forth. But I just don't see the point of being macro on a GoPro when you can already look so close anyway. I still love GoPro. I'll always be a GoPro fan.
That's the thing.
Like I am an Apple fanboy.
We're like the biggest GoPro fanboy kind of dudes, and I think that's what makes it so disappointing because they've given us essentially the same camera, the same spec kind of camera as the Hero 11, and you know it's been 2 years and they've still got giving us the same thing pretty much, just with some extra like external things, bits and pieces that are nice, but like they really needed to give us like at least, you know, higher resolution capabilities, maybe a new sensor.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen I would like to see bigger sensors in the GoPros, so the optics are better and that makes low light more capable, and also like faster processing and better heat distribution on a GoPro so that it doesn't cut out. But if you're going to redesign a battery, don't make it just a few hundred more milliamp hours, like make it 2,000 more milliamp hours. You know, we want to see way better record time. Anyway, I'm going to cut there because I want to eat this and it's really messy.
Yeah. Let's head back. That brekkie roll is amazing.
Pretty good.
The 4th chapter. It's in Paran if you ever want to go there.
So I think the question is it worth it to you to get the Hero 13? Would you go and buy it?
If I didn't do what I do and I was just that kind of consumer person, then I don't think I would.
Yeah.
But in my situation, definitely I'll probably get them purely because of what I do for my business and work and so forth.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if I was just a dude and I had GoPros and I was like a filmmaker in that sense, then I'd probably just stick with the 12s.
It's essentially we're getting the same Hero 12 that we got before with some extra like little external features, but Yeah, I think
It might make it more user friendly slightly,
yeah,
but not necessarily
yeah.
gonna up your footage
No.
quality or.
Because that's what, like, I think that's what I think a lot of other people are going to care about the most is like just getting a better camera quality. And
Well, that's the purpose of upgrade, yeah.
exactly. And they've kind of missed that somehow, which I think is quite weird. But if I was to get a GoPro now, I would just get a 12 and then just wait to see what happens in the future. But I definitely wouldn't upgrade to it.
Yeah, my overall thoughts now, like to wrap this up, would be I actually would be a little bit concerned for GoPro and where they're headed and what their market is now with the camera and the release of these two. You know, they were at a really dying time when they had the drone, and that almost actually shut them down. They spent a whole heap of money on that, and you know, I think with the release with the 10, I think kind of picked them back up, and they were doing okay. So I'm not sure where they'd be sitting right now. And I guess if you're going to buy a 12, you just buy a 13, yeah?
Well, I don't know, man. Like, the main thing that actually would set me back is, like, not only am I spending an extra $70, right? Which, you know, hey, for some people that's nothing. But then I got to buy all these new batteries all over again because the batteries aren't the same. The 12 actually gave us a significant increase in battery life compared to the Hero 11. And I don't know how much more battery life we're getting in terms of, like, practical use.
Yeah.
We're getting with the 13. For me, it's definitely not worth it because I'd rather just get
you've already
battery.
You've already got a whole bunch of batteries, and so
The 12's battery lasts like ages compared to the 11.
it's interesting times. It's interesting time, guys.
So yeah, if GoPro really want to stay ahead of the game, I think they need to really up their game. And I know that it's not what anyone wants to hear. It's not what I want to be saying because I am such a GoPro fanboy, guys. Maybe they'll update it in the future. Maybe there might be some extra things, or maybe even a new camera entirely that they release as sort of the flagship model that's additional to what they've just released now. But as it stands now, it's certainly not something I will be buying. I think if I want to buy a GoPro today, I would buy the GoPro Hero 12 because they both have the same camera quality. They've got the same image sensor, they shoot the same 120 bit depth video, they shoot the same max resolution 5.3K at 60 frames per second. They both shoot GoPro log exactly the same, which gives us the same color grading capabilities. The new Hero Mini camera, I think, is quite strange because I'm sure that it was intended as a budget alternative for the people who don't want to spend, you know, like $500 Australian on a new camera. But it really feels like a step backwards. It offers less than the Hero 11 Mini did, and I'm sure it has less heat issues than that camera did. But overall, when you take away features like that, I just don't really think it looks that good. So yeah, I really want to know what you guys think. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have anything extra you want to add. Do you think the GoPro Hero 13 is worth it? Do you think their new Hero budget camera is good? Do you think it's bad? Let me know in the comments because I really think it's a good discussion to talk about with you guys. And let's hope that in the future we get something maybe that's a bit more convincing. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope this video helped clarify a few things about the new GoPro for you, and I really hope it helps you make a decision. So please have an awesome week, and I will see you on the next one.